Alright, guys, gals, non-binary pals, it's finally time for more Saturn content. Here's a little paraphrase of the early story of my favorite, yes, my favorite game series of all time, Panzer Dragoon. And this is just a little backstory on here, and that's what I'm going to do with these videos, because the games aren't too long. There's not, too much to explain or anything like that. But I actually, for all three games, Panzer Dragoon, Zwei, and Saga, I wrote the old Game FAQs guides for them, yes. If you go to Game FAQs today. Alright, we're going to see the cinema again after we start the game, so let's just get into it. Anyways, this is Panzer Dragoon for the Sega Saturn. I haven't played in such a long time, so I know I need to normal it. And we're going to play it on easy just for the sake of this playthrough, because I don't care about, showing my awesome skills. Alright, so let's head in there, let's get started. Panzer Dragoon World is... I have a timeline in my Game FAQs, by the way. I did a lot of the translation back in the day, because I loved this series so much. Like, I could read a little bit of Japanese back in the day, and, I went through Japanese documents, Japanese websites, magazines, translated some of them, went through them, and actually, figured out the storyline behind the games. And I think I'm going to make a completely separate video at some point about the entire Panzer Dragoon series and why it's my favorite series of all time. But for now, we're just going to take it game by game. I'll go through the storyline, because I think when it comes down to it, that's what I love the most about the series, why I fell in love with it. It's because, they're relatively short games. This one and Zwei, maybe, it takes about an hour to beat or so. But, the story and the passion in the design of the world building, the story, even the language. If you heard them talking just a minute ago, I paused so they, you could hear them talking. It's like there's its own made-up language for these games. It's sort of from what I remember back in the day. Obviously some of my information could be outdated at this point, but back in the day it was sort of like a mismatch of people were assuming German and Japan, a little bit Japanese and German. And there's some other dialects in there too. But it's like this crazy, odd sounding language. So you'll see all these games have subtitles. Even Saga, which is the role-playing game. Which definitely I'm going to do a playthrough of that one for sure on the channel. And the history of the games too. So the language and the history. There's about 90 years. 90 years of past history that they wrote for these games. And I can't even... It's hard to describe that. It's a 1 hour long shooter that they spent so much time, so many hours, so much passion in building the world around. And I love the world. I love the design of the creatures, the bioorganic creatures, and, the vehicles, the style of everything. Oh man. I know I'm talking over the cinema, but I'm just setting up the video, okay? Setting up the video. So let's watch a little bit. And just so we're clear in the whole timeline thing, Zwei actually takes place before this game. Zwei is a prequel. So Zwei happens, and then a little bit of history happens, and then this game happens down the line a little bit. Essentially, there was an ancient civilization with advanced technology that died out, and sort of the modern, people, most notably the Empire, I believe they just generically call it the Empire, finds a place called the Tower. And the Tower has different technologies in it, and they use the technologies in there to fight back the bioorganic creatures a little bit. And then, you know, this game happens, right? So we'll go through the game, I'll explain the plot in each level. But I remember the cinema when I was little, man. This was like mind-blowing. So Kyle is Kyle is his name. Yes, it's a boring name, but that's his name. Translated, it's Kyle. Witnesses this, you know, battle between these two mysterious dragons. And the rider gets shot down. Mysterious Rider and the Mysterious Blue Dragon. This is sort of like a mind meld part. So that is the task of the game right now. That's all it is. So the dragon, the dark dragon, is headed to the tower. And the dead rider, with his last breath, has tried to enlist Kyle for aid. Ride the dragon. Don't let the dark dragon get to the tower. But it's so cryptic, right? Like, why? Like, is he going to destroy the tower? Kyle's a pretty brave man to get on that dragon. I gotta say that. Man, this cinema blew me away back in the day. I never had a Sega CD or anything before Saturn. This was my first system that I experienced cinemas like this. Right, episode 1. For this episode, we're following the Dark Dragon, right? We're basically chasing the Dark Dragon throughout the game. And the Blue Dragon we're on, the Mysterious Blue Dragon's the solo wing. So if you've never played Panzer Dragoon, this is what it is. You basically can lock on and you can shoot your gun. Certain enemies are susceptible to, you know, the laser more than the gun. And your gun can be used to shoot down projectiles too, like if something was shooting bullets at you, if you shoot, you know, bullets back at it. So it's basically a one-button game. You hold it down to lock on, you press it to shoot. And the cool thing that it did, which I had never seen in a shooter before, is you could change your camera, right? With the L and R buttons. See how my radar is changing up top? You could change your viewpoint. Things will come at you from all directions. It's super cool. And let me tell you, when I first saw this game, it was at a Toys R Us, a demo kiosk in Toys R Us. And I couldn't believe my eyes. It was pretty recently. Before this, I played Star Fox for the first time on the Super Nintendo. And as I was playing Star Fox, like, I was like, this is the best, like, shooter I've ever seen. Like, nothing is ever going to top this. Nothing is ever going to top this. And then I went into Toys R Us, you know, a little while after that. Don't know exactly how long. Don't have a photographic memory. But I went into Toys R Us, and they had this. It was right before the Saturn came out. And they had this on one of those demo kiosks. Oh, I'm getting distracted. They had this on one of the demo kiosks, and I started to play it, and it was the demo of this level with this music and these graphics. Oh my gosh, I was just like blown away. when I grew up, my mom was a single parent. We did not have a lot of money. And, you know, I'm not shy about sharing that or anything. It's not that I dwell on it, but, you know, it is what it is. So it didn't have a lot of cool stuff, right? But this, like, I was a big Sega kid growing up too. The Genesis, you know. Obviously I loved the Nintendo. I had a Nintendo, I had a Genesis. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. So when I saw this and I was so blown away by it, it was like, oh my gosh. Sega, because everyone at the time was talking about the Super Nintendo, right? I had an old Nintendo and a Genesis. And no one was talking about the Genesis anymore because the Super Nintendo was amazing. Like I said, Star Fox. I played Star Fox at a friend's house. It was amazing. And when I saw this for the first time and, you know, experienced it for the first time and fell in love with it, it was like, oh my gosh, Sega's back. So ever since I saw it, you know, I saved up my money and stuff like that. And my mother, God bless her, I begged and begged for a Sega Saturn when it first came out. So this is the first boss. Let me interrupt my story. This is the first boss. This is a ship that the Empire sent, because the Empire got word that these two dragons were spotted over this lake, and it looks like they're heading towards the tower. And so they sent this ship to sort of stop us. And I love the details on this. You can even look, it has guns, and those little flashes in the middle are essentially people. Like, those are people, like, firing at us from the, you know, the comfort of the deck, and you can, like, shoot them off and they fall down and stuff. Like, it's so... A lot of the details in this game are just... This game has no right to be as detailed and as cool as it does, I guess. And that's part of the reason why I fell in love with it. And you'll see, I can use my lasers to lock on, like I said before. And then those bullets, those big round bullets, you want to use your regular gun for those. And obviously, I'm going to blow through this game because it's on easy and I've played it multiple times before. But for the sake of this playthrough, I don't want it to be super challenging. I want to talk about the game. I want to show off the game, record some good footage of it, you know, for the channel. Kick off more Sega Saturn content, because I love Sega Saturn content. I might do old reviews, I decided. You know, quick 5-minute reviews of every Saturn game or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways... So again, this is the ship sent by the Empire to stop the dragons, essentially, and, you know, they sort of underestimated our power. I love these graphics. Back in the day, this was so amazing, I'm telling you. Right, so we defeated the Empire ship. Shotdown ratio, 100%, nice. Maybe I'll try to do a run-through of 100% shotdown ratios, too. Eventually, we'll see if I get my skills back. Right, episode 2, cinema. So these are more Empire ships. So they obviously know they failed the first attempt to stop the dragons, so they're getting some ground reinforcements in as we go over an excavation site, I believe. Or we're heading towards the 9th excavation site, and this is sort of on the way. We have to go through this wilderness area with these giant worms and stuff. I remember this level is pretty hard to get a shot down ratio 100% on, even though it's the second level. Like these ones you want to use your gun on, because those pink things that it shoot towards you count to your percent. I already missed a couple. If you shoot them with your lasers, the pink things still fly at you, so it's better just to use your gun. Anyways, I missed one, so shot down ratio 100% is not happening here. But anyways, this is sort of like a wilderness area, so you see some of the, you know, bio-mechanical creatures in Panzer Dragoon as we go through. It's a cool little cave. I like this part. They pop up in like a circle around you. Best thing is to use your gun and just pan your camera around. I think I jumped the gun a little bit, yeah. Jump the gun. The best thing to do is just keep shooting, moving your camera around, follow them. Especially these guys. When a certain amount of time is up, they jump at you, and so you can shoot them down with your gun. Pretty easy. So basically, again, the Empire's tracking us. They know where we're going. We're heading to the 9th excavation site. What they're excavating, we don't know. Right? They're excavating, trying to excavate more past technology. Like the tower. Because they found the tower, right? They found technology in the tower. And they use the technology to oppress other countries. And also hold back. This is another part. These guys will fly in a circle. Just keep your target ahead. Just lock onto everything and then shoot them all down at once. Oh, I missed one. Alright, got it. This part, I think, is a gun part. Because these guys will climb up on the walls and, like, jump at you. So it's best to use your gun. And just go back and forth. And Saga is definitely one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and it's because I think it's because I love the world of this in Zwei so much, and Saga just made it all, you know, Saga's obviously an RPG, it made it all come together a little bit, the world, fleshed it out even more, and I love that. So these guys shoot with your lasers, but then obviously shoot the spittle. It's hawking loogies on you. But can you imagine back in the day seeing this after just having like a Genesis, you know? Genesis and a regular Nintendo? Like, didn't have a computer, any fancy stuff before then. This was so cool. And I love the graphics and everything to this date. Obviously, I'm a big fan of, you know, pixelated graphics. Some people might not like them nowadays, but I don't know, I'm nostalgic for the dirty, like, ugly pixels of the Sega Saturn. Which, you know, they are ugly. Like, we can admit it, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you and say the Sega Saturn is the best looking system of all time. I mean, a lot of this stuff's pretty ugly. But the game runs great. Not seeing any frame rate problems right now. No slowdown or anything. Oh, did I miss? I definitely did not get 100%, not that I was trying. Right, so this is when I believe me and the Dark Dragon come face to face. We finally caught up to it on the stormy end of the desert. And this is, you want to dodge up and down these like flat laser arrows. Pretty easy to dodge. This battle is actually one of the easiest in the game. You're just going up and down, and then it goes to the side. Ooh, that one almost got me. I wasn't paying attention. It's hard talking and concentrating, okay? And it's on easy, right? Obviously, this is definitely different than if it was on a harder difficulty. And the Dark Dragon and his rider, defeated, blow off into the distance. Alright. But that's definitely a more challenging one to get it on, even if I was on my game, which I'm not. So, this is the 9th excavation site, the one that they knew we were going to. So the Empire tried a new tactic with this one, according to lore. It decided to try ground troops too, as opposed to air troops, because obviously flying dragons are masters of the sky. So they wanted to try something different. So as we went over the excavation site, it's going to be enemy in the distance over here, I believe. I can't believe I remember some of this stuff. I haven't played this in 10 years. I played the remake. Didn't super like the remake, just because You can tell the passion was not there in the remake at all. I didn't think it was all that great, but, you know, it could be just me being such a fan of the original. It's alright for what it is. I'll do a playthrough of it, I'm sure, on the channel. Alright, so we're going through the excavation sites. There's going to be a lot of ground enemies here, and air enemies. There's some super annoying enemies this level, too. This is not the easiest level to get 100% on, either. Anyways, there's not, plot line-wise, there's not much going on this level. We're going through the excavation site. The Empire's still trying to stop us. Well, they're saying stop the dragon. I mean, we assume it's us, right? Because we're getting shot at. But what about the other dragon? And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, the plot doesn't sound too complicated already or anything. But it's not really about the plot. It's about the world that this game set up. And I love the world setting. I love everything about it. And I maybe forgot to mention, this was actually made by an old Sega development team. It's not around anymore, I don't believe, called Team Andromeda. And Team Andromeda did not make a lot of games. They basically made a few like this, and then sort of did a couple other Sega things, I think, as folded into other production companies and stuff like that. On some of these facts, I could be wrong. And this is one of the... Oh, I hate these enemies. This is the part I hate. These guys that hop in the air and drop little charges at you. It's very easy on a harder difficulty to die right here. It's pretty easy on easy, I must say, though. Even though I haven't played it in a long time. Maybe I should put it on normal. Alright. Almost up to the next boss. It's another, you know, Imperial machine. The soundtrack of the game, too. All the Panzer Dragoon games, honestly, is one of the, you know, shining aspects of it for sure. Because it used, you know, orchestral, you know, instruments along with the synthesized stuff. So it's very unique in that sense. And I love the music style of the games. So this one's like a fan. You got to go up and down, up and down. And yeah, so going back to the music, like, I love the style of the music, and especially that first level. The music that was in the background, that first level when we were going over the water and stuff. Oh my gosh, I had never heard anything like that up to this point in a video game before. Obviously, you know, games on... He's gonna jump down here. That's why I'm back here. He's gonna jump around, shoot these bullets, shoot these regular bullets down. He's gonna land one more time behind us. And then he'll... shoot these rockets. If you don't shoot these rockets down when they get to the other side, I let one by. So let's go. If you go to the other side, it'll shoot like these bullets at you. So you gotta dodge that. Anyways, that's all this boss is. Hop a couple times, check that out. Anyways, so like music like this you couldn't have on a non-CD system, right? And this was, I think, my first ever CD-based system. And I mean, it's so good. Just listen to it. Listen to it. You can't lock onto these. I just realized. I didn't know that, but... Oh, I missed one. How did I miss one? No. Alright. Right? Empire failed again to stop us. So we're going into the excavation site now, followed by some Empire ships. But when we get inside the site, some of the biomechanical creatures come alive. Which, obviously, they were dormant before then. And it was later guessed that they were maybe the guardians of the site, and they were woken up by the presence of the dragon, including the boss. Which you'll obviously see at the end. I don't really have this this memorized at this point, this level. This level's pretty fast, so we're inside the 9th excavation site, you know, going through it. And again, this level back in the day, like, even though it's slightly, you know, claustrophobic inside, it's so intense, you know what I mean? Because you do feel that claustrophobic, even though you can still switch your camera around and look in every direction. You have all these quick turns around the turns. You have enemies coming at you from all different directions. I just missed an enemy. Sucky. But oh man, this level is so good. There's some levels in Zwei that... I like Zwei more than this one. Obviously, it's the better game. It's the sequel. It improved on everything. And there's a episode in Zwei where you're going through a ship pretty similar to this one, and that one's just like a 10 out of 10. This one's like, you know, 9 out of 10. No idea if I got all those. Zwei does a couple things different too. There's a berserk meter and stuff, but we'll get to that when we get to that video. I need to dodge a little better. Don't want to die on easy. Take away my Panzer Dragoon fan card. Ooh, watch the door, watch the door. But this level is super hard on the harder difficulties. I remember having a lot of trouble with it back in the day when I was a little teenager. Yes, the Saturn came out when I was in high school, okay? Get it? You notice like the reticule, shooting reticule changes too. When it spins real fast, it means I'm holding the button down. But if I wasn't holding it down, it's just like, you know, very slow. Like little touches like that, it's so cool. It's so amazing. So anyways, these are all the biomechanical creatures, like I said. So this excavation site was dormant. The Empire was, you know, excavating it to try to get some of the technology, fix it up, use it. But then as soon as we entered, us in the Solo Wing, the Blue Dragon, the creatures came to life. And it was, like I said before, it was guessed that the dragon's presence maybe unleashed their power. Alright, including this creepy thing sleeping on the floor right there. Who is only called, in Panzer Dragoon lore, it's only called the Guardian. This is this creature's name. It obviously came alive when, or woke up, I guess you could say, when the dragon came by. It's doing a little stunts for us. So you gotta hit this thing with your lasers and then hit it with your gun. Well, because it's got a shield, right? So it's blocking the lasers. So hit it with some lasers and then also try to shoot it. while it's blocking the lasers, like just like that. It uses his arm as a blocker. Shoots one of his arms at you. Watch out for the comeback on that one. It does go out and come back. There we go. I blew up one of his arms. One of his shields, I guess. This is when he starts doing his green laser. Just gotta dodge that sucker. Like a lot of attacks in the game, it's... you want to dodge sort of in a circle. And the other arm gone, just blow him away. I love it. I love it. Like beating this boss back in the day, watching him fall apart, sort of right in front of you. That was so cool. Oh, it's the Dark Dragon. Followed us through the site too. And again, which dragon? It's very cryptic. Which dragon activated the excavation site, the creatures at the excavation site? Empire's caught up to us. Because the path we're going to, the path that it knows we're following straight to the tower, goes right through the capital city. And so we're right on the edge of the capital city. This is basically the forest around the capital city. So this is where the Empire really starts to pick it up. Oh. Never mind. I gotta put it on normal to do the stage. Alright, we'll switch it on normal and I'll get back here. Alright, episode 5. Assault above the forest. This is the forest that's on the outskirts of the Empire's capital city. This level's actually a decent bit challenging, so I hope I get it this time. There is a cheat codes for this game. There's a level select and stuff, so I use that to get back here because you can only do so much at normal or on easy, as you know. You are aware now, and I am aware now. I didn't remember that was a thing. So, let's keep at it. There's only 6 missions, 6 episodes, and a boss in the game, so it's pretty short, like I said. The past couple levels, the storyline of this episode is the past couple levels, the Empire's used most of their ground forces to try to deter us. And so this is an all-out sort of aerial battle, aerial ships only, above the forest on the outskirts of the city. Because the tower is on the other side of the city. So we're going through the capital. That one's a decoy. Get at this one. I love the ship's designs in this game, how they still have that techno-organic feel, just like the enemies do. I love everything about the design of this world. I love it, I love it, I love it. And a lot of the game is based on, or it's not based on, but it's like a homage to the artist, the French artist, Mobius, who, I believe he's French. That's obviously not his real name. That's his, you know, his artwork name, his comic book name, author name. But he does a lot of crazy, really detailed, like techno-organic, for like alien architecture and stuff like that. Very, very cool stuff. And he's pretty famous for it. And I know he was one of the inspirations for the style of this game, the world of this game. Well, I'm trying to dodge my best and talk at the same time. And he was even brought in to do the cover of the Japanese artwork of the game. The Japanese artwork is actually done by him, and it's crazy cool. I love it. And a lot of his artwork is great. If you look up his art books and some of his old, comic work, oh man, so good. These are those cluster bombs that go into like this like spread pattern that I don't know how to explain it. I'm not doing good explaining as I'm playing. They explode into like a cluster and then they come back into like a single thing, so you just want to dodge around in like a circle. Try to get this guy down as low as you can and then blow him up. Alright. So let's keep at it. And Zwei is definitely a better game. Obviously, it's the sequel, so they had more experience when it came to it. But a lot of the levels in this have sort of analogs in Zwei. Like there's a forest level, an underground level, cave level, and stuff like that. Oh, I gotta be backwards. Start hitting these guys. And you can change your camera too. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not. I don't think so. I just pulled my camera out just a little bit more. I think it helps for this boss. Did not help me there. Alright, get out of here. This boss is not that hard, but you do have to dodge a decent amount. So we'll see how it goes. I think I want to pull back again. Alright. Oh. And then you gotta hit these rings as much as you can. Oh, I messed a couple of those up. Alright, let's see if we can hit it coming around. Come on. Yes. Alright. Oh, some ships are popping out of it now. I think that's it. I think it's got another form or something. Oh, jeez. I did not even notice that guy popping in my screen. Alright, he down. He down. He dead. Alright, there's another one. Something? No. That was the remnants of the last ship. Yeah, this is... You gotta shoot the blue thing, I think. And he shoots rockets or something. Which I think look like cucumbers. You tell me what you think. There. Looks like a cucumber. I don't know. A cucumber with a red thing in it. Oh, get it. Oh, jeez. Don't want to fall behind. If you start falling behind, that's when you die. Alright. He dead. He dead. So, episode 5 done. That was the Imperial... Oh, jeez. If that killed me... Oh, man. But that's so cool, seeing something like that back in the day when... this is your first CD-based system, your first experience with polygons, man. That was killer. Killer. Alright, so the next stage is a pretty fast-paced stage. Hopefully I could beat it on the first try. The two dragons were going over, like, straight over the capital city, basically, to get to the tower. And as it might explain something here. Instructions from Unit 1 received and confirmed. And just so you know, this is the tower talking. It's not the Imperials. It's the Imperials guarding the tower. And as the dragons get closer, the tower has now come alive. And it started to unleash, more biomechanical creatures and monsters. And they actually attack the city. So as we're flying through the city is actually getting attacked by these creatures. and you actually duel the Dark Dragon as you go through the stage. This is one of the coolest stages, like for sure. It's so cool. It's like you're dueling the Dark Dragon in a sense. Not really, because you actually can't kill it or anything. Like I can shoot it with my lasers, but it doesn't do anything. And these ships shoot with your gun, because they actually go kamikaze on you and try to run into you. So, get those with your gun. Alright, so you can shoot the Dark Dragon, but there's no point to it, I don't think. Oh, nuts. I missed one. Yeah, I got hit by a couple of those ships. This big thing is something that will come up at the end. It shoots these, like, I don't know what you want to call them. They're like tripod enemies at you that shoot lasers. Those guys. It shoots them out. It's pretty cool. There's another stage where, you know, the limitations of the Saturn show up a little bit. You see, obviously, a lot of pop-up on the screen. I think I missed one. Yep. Alright. So there's a lot of pop-up on the screen and stuff, but, you know, this was a launch game, so just figuring some stuff out. I still, again, I love the look of the game. It's mainly the design of it, but, you know, I love the ugly Saturn pixels. I love the clothes hanging too, or the clotheslines. Like people are drying their clothes like across the buildings. I mean, it's a cool touch. It doesn't make logical sense. But you know, it's a cool touch. Because obviously the city probably wasn't flooded. It must have got flooded when these creatures started attacking. I'm trying to get that last one. Ugh. My life is pretty low, but the only... I'm pretty sure... Oh no, there is a boss on this stage. I think we fight the Dark Dragon. Oh no, there's no boss. This stage has no boss battle. You just have to beat the stage. So... Alright, this part's kind of tricky. You gotta dodge this thing's guns, and it's gonna drop those enemies. So you always gotta be moving. You always gotta be shooting your lasers. Oh, that nailed me. Not good, not good. You can see a lot of the ships in the background too. They don't look that great. I don't know if you noticed. You can't see them right now, but they were up on the left just a minute ago. Like, touches like that are so cool. Alright. I think we did it. Yep, seen no boss. So, here we go. So we followed the Dark Dragon back to the tower, through the forest, through the excavation site. We've gotten back to the tower. The mysterious tower. Both dragons are there. And remember, our task was to stop him from getting to the tower. So are we the tower's guardian? Is he going to destroy the tower? Unit 1 confirmed. Uh-oh. Last episode. And the dragon... So the dragon went into the tower and comes out as the prototype Dark Dragon, which is amazing. When I was playing this back in the day, look at this. The dragon went from that little thing to that, and we have to defeat that? Oh my gosh. So this is pretty hard. Hopefully I get it first try. I mean, it's only normal and I've done it before. So he'll constantly shoot things at you. He'll wag his tail around. You gotta keep moving. Those little things in front of his face, too. I'm already pretty low on health. Might not do it this time. Those things in front of his face, too, when they get... Oh my gosh, I definitely don't got it this time. Those things in front of his face, when they die, they turn into that blue thing. It's got its waves from when it was... Oh. Okay. Let's try that again. With full health. So let's try this again with full health. Right, so the Empire's regretting messing with the tower now. It got destroyed. For the most part. And this guy. If this guy doesn't get defeated, he will wreak havoc upon the world. We're the only hope. So like I said, dodge the tail. You gotta dodge the shots that he's shooting. And also when these things die, they shoot the green stuff, which you gotta dodge too. So there's quite a lot of stuff to dodge. I'm not doing that great of a job so far. I haven't done this in, 10 years. Give me a break. And he does have these. These go a lot faster than his small form, like I was trying to say when I died the first time. When he goes to the back, these things, you gotta shoot them in sort of the pattern that they come out as. They come out in like a circular pattern. You just gotta shoot him with the regular gun. Back to the front. This is when he does his big tail whip. So up. And then, oh, stay up, stay up. Oh, I almost screwed that up. This is tough to dodge. When that beam turns green, you better be moving. Oh, got my tail. Oh, I sort of got out of it. Then we'll shoot more stuff at us. Oh, I didn't do that perfect. Alright. And then he repeats the same patterns, essentially. From this point on, I think. There we go. We got him. When I did that for the first time when I was a kid, man, the dragon falls apart. What's that, a last dying screech? Before it falls into the water. So essentially the Dark Dragon was the tower's defender, and the Blue Dragon, what its role is in this world, is to defeat the towers. Which you don't know that throughout most of the game. So I'll be quiet while we watch the ending here. If you have not seen it before. There we go. Blue Dragon sacrificed itself. Put a shield around Kyle. Kyle does have a story after this. It says in the stuff he... Oh, there's Dragon. Dragon Claw Prince. Maybe the Blue Dragon didn't get destroyed. It's up to you to find out. And that's it. That's Panzer Dragoon. Nice and quick. Amazing game. I love the series. Favorite game series of all time. I know that seems weird because it's just a shooter. It's not like, a big major franchise like RPG franchise like Final Fantasy or something like that. But I just loved the artistry behind the game, the care and the passion it took to make this game. Because again, it's a short 1-hour game, and so much stuff went into making this, so much backstory and world building and all that sort of stuff. And you can definitely tell the people that made it loved the source material. They were in love with it. And that speaks a lot to me. And that's why I fell in love with it originally. And I can't say much other than that. So I hope you enjoyed watching. We'll take a look at watch the credits here. And Zwei will be obviously the next video I work on. Next Let's Play. And like I started to say, Kyle, you know, the protagonist from this game, lived the rest of his life just normally. He lived to an old age. And he basically only told this story to a few friends, right? Because not many people know about this story. A lot of people in the Empire, you know, were killed when the monsters, you know, destroyed the city. And a lot of there's image illustrations, Mobius. That's what I'm talking about. So good. So like by the time Saga happens, you know what I mean? This is sort of just like a legend. This is like a fairy tale or something like that, you know? You do find some hints to it in Saga, but Zwei, which is number 2, is actually a prequel. It takes place, you know, a little bit in the past based on their, you know, 90 plus year history files that they made when they designed the game. Oh, I love the illustrations. And I love you, Yu-Gi-Oh! You did great. Again, this game just blew me away when I was a kid. Sound, music, world setting, graphics. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I only have the last 2 on there because we had to restart because the easy thing. So whatever. Maybe I'll go for 100% shot down, you know, ratio at some point or something like that. Anyways, guys, gals, non-binary pals, that's it. That's Panzer Dragoon. Thanks for watching with me. On to more Saturn stuff. Peace out.